I did probably what a lot of Bricklink sellers do. Even though your business isn't doing well, you're not making any money, somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm selling off my Lego. What do you think?" So I did what a lot of Bricklink sellers would do. I went and bought it. He had a pretty good collection. I probably paid a lot more for this than I should have, but it's somebody I work with and I know, so kind of gave him the better deal, I guess. There are quite a few sets in here. They're not all complete, so there'll be a little bit of work on my part, but you can see that there was some of these mini sets like the Millennium Falcon and this one here, along with the Hogwarts, part of the Hogwarts castle, and underneath all of this is all the instruction manuals for most of these. I think he said he had most of them. He did attempt to try to rebuild some of these. So he did sort out the parts by color so that he'd be able to find the parts a little bit easier. So there's a lot of parts in here. There's Mega Block in here. He tried to pull out all the Mega Block. And then these are the Bionicle boxes, and those are the actual Bionicle sets. Most of those are put together. There's also a bunch of little sets that are partial in here as well. And then there is this Republic gunship, but when I was looking last night when I couldn't sleep because I spent so much money on this, I realized that he's missing just about all of the minifigs for it, and I don't think that the stormtroopers or the guys in that are the ones that come with it. There's another set in here that he does think is complete, so that one might be able to sell right away. And then this one fell apart in transit. It's actually kind of flimsy. I was really surprised at how flimsy this was when it was put together. See, it just fell apart again. I'll need to put this back together, and then there's one right there as well. I'm going to try to maybe focus on the sets and get those on eBay to see if I can get those sold right away, because then once I start selling these, I won't feel as bad as about how much I paid for them, and hopefully get some of the money back, because I kind of used our Vegas vacation money to pay for this, so I need to get some money back right away so we can still go on vacation and have a good time. So that is what I'm going to be working on this weekend. It's a normal weekend for me, but next weekend is a 3-day weekend, so I'll have a lot more time to work and focus on these. Yesterday, my husband and I spent quite a bit of time out in the shop going through some of the Lego from this Lego haul. We are basically just looking for sets and trying to figure out the cost of those sets, so I'd be able to put my mind at ease on whether or not I was getting my money's worth. And I don't think I'm going to make a huge profit on all of this, but I am going to make a profit. So I was able to sleep better last night. It's kind of scary when you invest a lot of money into Lego and you're not quite sure if you're going to get your money back. What we did is we went through everything. This is the Bionicle parts, and then underneath that is one of the sets that every time we touched it, pieces fell off of it. I was going to part it out. My husband looked it up. He said, no, let's try to sell it first. So we're going to he's going to actually work on that one for me. Underneath there is all of the instruction manuals, and there's quite a few in there. These are ones we're going to sell. This is the Harry Potter and all the parts for that, except for the minifigs. We moved the bigger sets out of the way for the time being because those won't get done until later, just because they're going to be very time consuming to do. So we wanted those out of the way where they wouldn't keep getting parts knocked off of it. And this is what I'm working on today. I think most of these have all of the parts. Some of them might be missing the weapons. I'm hoping they're in that other container, or I have them in inventory. Otherwise, I won't be able to sell these until I get those parts. But I am hoping that there's enough here that I'll be able to put at least half of them onto eBay over the weekend so we can start getting things moving. I spent all day yesterday and most of the morning today working on getting some things into eBay. I'm happy to say that I was able to upload, I believe, 9 of the Bionicle and 1 Throwbot. I've got all of these in my eBay box, which makes me excited because I think this is the most I've had on eBay. I had 2 sales already, but one of them canceled because the buyer did not look at the picture until after he purchased it, which kind of ticked me off, but I went ahead and canceled it just so I could keep my feedback at a good rating. And then I made notes in the description on the things he was complaining about. Basically, he said that I didn't have the right lid, which at the time when I took the pictures, I didn't, but I got that corrected. And then he was saying there's no outer shell on this, meaning that the original packaging has been taken off. You can see on that one it has the outer shell, but the picture clearly showed that this was what it was, but he didn't want it. So I've made note of that in the description. As for what didn't make it into eBay, I have these 4 Bionicle that I'm missing 1 or 2 parts for each. And then I have these 4 Throwbot sets. I think that a couple of these I may end up parting out because they need quite a few parts. These 2 here, and maybe this one. This one only needs 1 more part, so that'll probably go into eBay. I did put them on my wanted list. If they come up, great. If they don't, then I'll just part them out. I did place an order this morning for some of the parts for those 3, so those could be listed on eBay. So what I have left to do probably today, and then I'll be done with this at least for today, is I want to break these 2 down. I've got pictures of these 2 and I want to break those out, make sure they're all the right parts. This one here I know has a wrong part. This right here is not light gray, it's light bluish gray, so I need to find a light gray disc to put on there. This one we're waiting. I need to order some hair. I've got the minifig, I just don't have the hair for him. And that one I'm probably going to end up parting out just because there's 2 things missing, the instruction manual and then a part that's like $4 to $7 on Bricklink, and the set itself is only $10, so it's not worth it to try to get the parts for that one. That still leaves quite a bit to go through. I still have those 2 containers. I have the Harry Potter set down on the bottom, and this is what's left of the Bionicle and Technic parts. I might go through the manuals and see if there's any more Bionicle that might match up with the parts that I have left and see if I can't create another set, but I'm not going to stress about it. I am working on putting some of these older sets together so that I can take pictures and get them uploaded on eBay. But I have to say, for the most part, I don't like these instructions. I much prefer the newer instructions. This one hasn't been so bad, but I did one a little bit ago that it was like playing Where's Waldo, trying to figure out what parts they wanted added that I hadn't already done. But I am kind of having fun with this just because it is different and it's something that I don't usually do. I'm working on this one here. It is the Gold City Junction set, and I'm going to be putting this together. I have all the people and horses, and I have all the parts sorted out by color. Just need to get that together. What I'm also working on is taking pictures of these here. I had pictures of these, but this one here was missing a couple of parts and had the wrong color in a couple of places. So I deleted those pictures and rebuilt it, and will take new pictures and get this uploaded to eBay. This is the one that took me quite a while to get together because, like I said, it was like playing Where's Waldo, trying to figure out where they wanted me to put parts. It's kind of a fun set now that it's all together. Definitely something different. And then I have another mini set that I need to take pictures of and get this uploaded on eBay as well. So those are the things I'm working on now. I currently have about 19 items on eBay, which is probably the most I've had in my eBay store since I started this. I am hoping that I can get quite a few of these sets sold. Like I've said in previous videos, I used our Vegas vacation money for the purchase of that big lot. So now I'm kind of scrambling, trying to make sure that I can get stuff sold to make the money back. So we'll still have enough money when we go to Vegas. Hopefully these will sell relatively quickly. They should, since they're older sets and we do have all the parts, minifigures, and the instructions for it. My husband got this set rebuilt. We do have the minifigs for it. Unfortunately, we don't have the instructions for it, but I'm hoping it will still sell. It probably should, but I'll discount it quite a bit because I know the instruction book for this is probably $8 to $10. But my husband was able to build it using the instructions online, so it's not a big deal. Good morning. You will see that it says 18 degrees. That's actually minus 18. And that is pretty close to what the high is supposed to be today. And yes, it is 5:28 in the morning. I feel like my shop is in organized chaos this morning. I have this set here, which I'm taking apart so that I can double check the parts and get it listed on eBay. I still have all these boxes from the Lego haul that I'm not sure what to do with. I'm running out of space here big time. This one I'm still missing 2 parts. This one I'm missing the hair on the minifigure. We did end up with some non-Lego parts, which we've just been throwing in there for now. This box is because our file cabinet where we keep all our instruction manuals, both for sale and our personal, is overflowing. So this is nothing but the larger manuals, and those will go into storage. Those are all just our personal sets. And those boxes are for the eBay purchases. When and if people start purchasing on eBay. This is my miscellaneous rack at the moment. I have parts that I'm putting into Bricklink. I have a whole bunch of sets to either get parts for or rebuild, so those can be posted on eBay. Over here we have the sets that I am still waiting to get parts for. All of these are missing like just 1 or 2 parts, and that's it. No. I did get a Bricklink order yesterday, so I did get the parts for 2 of the Throwbots. I had just dumped these out to start building when my husband told me it was dinner last night, and because it was cold and I was tired, I didn't even bother coming back out to work on these. So these are 2 that I want to get together and take pictures of so I can get them posted on eBay. And even better than all of that, we actually have 2 Bricklink orders that I'm going to be working on today. They're not big ones. They have 18 lots and 39 lots. So they shouldn't take too long to do. I'm going to work on these for about another half hour, and then I'm going to log in to work, and then I will work on these on my break and at lunch. So that is my plan for this morning. I am on a 3-day weekend because Monday is a holiday. My goal this weekend, we'll see how this goes, is I have all these sets here, and all of these sets need to be put together, have pictures taken apart, double checked, and then posted on eBay. My husband suggested that I build the biggest sets first so it gets easier as I go along. So this will probably be the first set that I will build. This is the one that has a bunch of new parts. A lot of the parts are still in the plastic bags because I don't know what was taken out of there. I'm going to need to open all the bags and put it together. They won't be new once I put it together, but that's what happens sometimes. Before I start building, I still need to work on this set here. I want to take the little minifigures apart, get them into individual bags. I always take a picture for eBay of all the parts bagged up so they know what they can expect and how it'll be bagged when they get it. So I'm going to finish the minifigs and then take a picture of this, and I'll be able to get this posted on eBay today. And this is one of the older Western sets. It's the Bandit's Secret Hideout, and it sells for quite a bit, so hopefully we can sell this relatively quickly. This little set here, I've mentioned this the last 2 or 3 times. I've done a video that all I needed was the hair and that I ordered it, and the hair was supposed to be here this week. Apparently, I didn't order the hair. I looked at the part, but I forgot to click add to cart on the Bricklink order, so I didn't get the hair. So I placed another Bricklink order today, which will make my husband very happy because there's a lot of minifig parts that will be coming in that order for him to finish out minifigs for our inventory. And at some point, I need to find a place to put these 3 sets. I did a quick Lego haul video on this, which should air before this, otherwise it gives it all away. But I need to find a home for all that because it's taking up quite a bit of space. That I still need to take to storage just to get it out of my way. But the temperature today is minus 35 now, I think, maybe minus 30. It's a little chilly today, so we're not going to be going to storage anytime soon. Okay, I have some helpers with me today. They're putting sets together for me so I can get them on eBay. This is my grandson, Deke. Are you going to say hi? Hi. And this is my granddaughter, Chelsea. Hi. She's the one that comes over and plays Lego with me. So they are putting the sets together so we can get those on eBay. This weekend was a 3-day weekend for me, and I spent almost the entire weekend just putting sets together, posting pictures, taking them apart, double checking them, and getting them listed on eBay. We have currently 29 items listed in our eBay store, which is the most we've had before. We did sell 3 Bionicle sets and 1 Star Wars set since I've gotten all this stuff from my coworker. I just spent the last hour putting this guide together. And I have to say that the one good thing about getting this lot from my coworker is I have had a chance to get out of my comfort zone and build stuff I wouldn't normally build. So I built this guy. I also built this guy. This one I had all the parts for. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I've decided I'm just going to put it together and sell it on eBay. And the only thing we're missing on this is the Joker's blaster. So I think I'm going to go ahead and post it. I do have the blaster in my wanted list, so if it comes in, I can throw it in with the set. But I'm going to see if we can get that sold as well. All those parts that I got from my coworker, I am still going through. I did spend some time this weekend and sorted through them and got them all into baggies. We also went through this container, which had a whole bunch of partial sets in it. We figured out what sets we could most likely build with the parts we have. And so we set those aside. These are all the ones that are just missing like 1 or 2 parts. So hopefully I will be able to get the parts for those fairly soon. The ones over here underneath are the sets that we're going to try to rebuild. And I still have a Hogwarts set in that bottom container, and that is full of manuals. I did try to match up parts with the manuals to kind of see what we might be able to build. That's how I figured out I had a couple of those Bionicles, was by going through the manuals. Right now what we're doing is going through the sets we think we can build, finding the parts out of the stuff that was given to us. If we can't find it there, then we're looking in inventory. If we don't have it in inventory, it ends up on the wanted list. But I think I've gotten the containers down quite a bit, because when we brought it home, we had all of these containers plus that green one over there that was full. And now we just have it down to basically these right here. I did have this full of Bionicle parts, but luckily I've put enough together that that's all the parts that we have left of those. This one here is one from my own collection that I'm going to be selling. My granddaughter put it together. I took pictures of it. Then I spent a few minutes this morning taking it apart before work. I do need to double check to make sure all the parts are there. We were missing a couple, but luckily the parts that we were missing I had in inventory. So I should be able to double check this and get this posted on eBay as well. Good afternoon. I am now done working, so I have the weekend ahead of me to work on Lego. I am working on getting my beach house set, this one here, double checked. I'm almost done. I'm up to the yellow. So once I get this done, I can take pictures of that along with the Bionicle, another Bionicle, and an Ninjago set. I'll be able to get pictures of these, how they're bagged up, and then get those posted on eBay. And this set here, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to resell. The very first thing in the manual is the basilisk, and we have absolutely no parts of that. So there's no point in trying to resell the Chamber of Secrets without the basilisk. Plus, we would be missing quite a few of the minifigures as well. So instead, I am breaking it apart, putting it in here, and we will part it out and put these parts into inventory. Apparently, I have another set I need to take apart and get bagged up for sale as well. I forgot I had this one sitting here. So that might be something I'll work on this weekend as well. I do have a few more sets that I need to put together. I have 3 sets there, 2 Creator and 1 Star Wars ones that I want to put together and take pictures for eBay listings. And I should be getting another Bricklink order probably today or tomorrow with a couple of the parts that I need to finish out a couple more sets. So we'll work on those this weekend. At some point, I would also like to work on getting some of these tiles into inventory. I have a local person who is interested in buying some of, I believe, the light bluish gray or the dark bluish gray smaller tiles for his cityscape. So I want to get these in so I can let him know that I have them available for sale. So I have a lot of plans this weekend. We'll see how things go. I am working on parting out the Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets set. I am up to the light gray parts. So far, we're missing all of the minifigs and 30 parts. So it'll be interesting to see what we end up with. But we'll have most of the parts, but just wasn't enough to resell it. I did have to wash the parts. They were really dusty and dirty, so I did wash the parts for the Harry Potter set and was able to wash them and start putting them away last night. And I also got another fairly good size order. This one was over 200 parts and 40 lots, and I will be working on this today as well. We've actually had a few pretty good Bricklink orders this month, which is great considering I've been putting all my focus on getting stuff into eBay. And I finally have that big pile of stuff from my coworker down to just these 3 boxes, which makes me very excited. So it's starting to take up less space. There's still a couple of more sets in there that I would like to try to rebuild. There's probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 sets also in there that are just waiting for 1 or 2 parts so we can list them on eBay. So this is actually coming out pretty good. I'm not going to make a huge profit on it because the gunship that we were hoping to sell on eBay, we're not going to be able to sell. It was missing 2 of the main minifigures. It did have the stormtroopers and one of the blue droids, but my husband realized the blue droid had a broken hand, so we won't be able to sell that one. The stickers were falling off and there was a couple of pieces missing. So we talked about it and we finally decided we're just going to part that one out, which is a shame because I paid a lot of money for that one to not be able to put it on eBay. So like I said, on this collection of Lego sets and parts. We are going to make a little bit of a profit, but just not as much as I was hoping. I'm done uploading the Harry Potter parts that we had for the Chamber of Secrets set, and I'm happy to say that we're going to be able to sell the parts for $90. There was 8 items that were over $1. I did not realize the manual was over $8 all by itself. So this made me very happy. I'm going to work on getting these uploaded. They're all put into the drawers, so I just need to upload it and do a couple of quick updates, and these will be out there available for sale. This is a container that has a whole bunch of stickered parts in it that we had not been able to catalog, or I just gave up looking for them. And because of the Brick and Eyes on Brickstore, I decided to go through some of what was in there, and I probably got rid of 6 bags about this size of parts and got it down to just this. I used the Brick and Eyes and was able to find all of these parts with using that, and I had 35 parts for over $40. And these yellow bricks right here, I had 4 of them, and they're over $5 each. So it was really cool to go through, get these added, and get them into my inventory. I am very excited about the Brick and Eyes. I'm going to be doing a video on that hopefully tomorrow. But it has been slick. I have done more stickered parts in the last week than I probably have in the last 2 years. It's been awesome. These 4 Star Wars sets right here, I am going to be taking pictures of and getting them onto eBay. I just need to take pictures, take them apart, make sure we have everything. My husband just put this one together for me, so it actually is pretty cool. So we're gonna get these listed, so that'll give us 4 more in our eBay store. But before I can work on eBay stuff, I need to work on Bricklink stuff. We had another large order. This one was 974 parts, and my husband pulled this over a couple of days. I double checked it this morning before work, so now all I need to do is get it bagged up and get it ready to mail tomorrow. We have this little order here, which won't take me more than a minute to pull because I've already pulled some of the parts. These are McDonald's parts, and I was going to try to recreate the set, but we were missing some key parts to it, and we definitely didn't have the $54 minifig that goes with it. But I do have the manual for the McDonald's set, and this guy went in and bought all the sticker parts that go with it. And it was pretty quick. I put the parts in yesterday after 3 o'clock, and he bought this, I think, at 1 o'clock today. They weren't in there very long. That's what I'm working on this evening. My plan tomorrow is to work on a video about Brick and Eyes on Brickstore, and then also continue working on getting some inventory into Bricklink, because we have had quite a few Bricklink sales this month. Compared to the previous couple of months, it's been really good. I am in the process of double checking orders, and I have once again been thwarted by a 1x1 cone. I had a set that I had all the pieces for, or I thought I did. Come to find out, this is a light bluish gray, and I need a light gray cone. I did order one at one point that I didn't need, but I have no idea what I did with it. So now I have to order another one to finish out that set. It's getting kind of frustrating because every time I think, aha, I'm finally done, I can list it on eBay, I end up with some kind of problem. Usually one little missing part or the wrong colored part, and I feel like I have to start all over again. I do have one I'll be able to post, which is this one here, and I'm really hoping that when I take this one apart, all the right pieces are there for this one. This set has now been taken apart, and those are the parts there, but there were two. This one should be dark gray. This is dark bluish gray, and this is not even Lego. So now I've got to dig through our stash of parts from this collection to see if I can find these two parts. Today hasn't been as productive as I was hoping it would be, but that seems to be the way my weekends go. I will have another pretty good upload. I went through and found some more stickers. I also found some rubber bands that I've actually had since 2019. They came in a huge lot that I got. I just forgot I had them and they were all kind of mixed together, and I finally went through those. So I had two stickered parts that were over $4. I had those rubber bands that were over $1 and some other parts that were $1. So just 471 items in 101 lots is going to be $79 that I can put in my store. I also got 3 more sets uploaded to eBay. It did take a little while because I kept missing parts or finding the wrong colored parts or whatever, but I finally got those uploaded, so that took a little bit of weight off my shoulders because they've been sitting in my shop for a week. I have 2 more parts that I need to take apart, double check, and get listed on eBay. This one I believe has all the parts because my husband actually put this one together. So this should have all the parts, the right parts, and hopefully no non-Lego parts. This set right here, I'm missing one part, which is the Joker's gun, and that should be here this week. Once those 2 are done, I can get those uploaded, and then I think I'm going to wait a little while because we have about 35 items in our eBay store right now, so I don't feel rushed to continue to create sets. I think I'm going to take a break from that and focus on getting inventory into my Bricklink store. This morning I have about 10 to 15 minutes before I need to log into work, so I'm going to see if I can get some of these parts into inventory, just basically the round bricks and some cone pieces. I do have a few in Brick Store right now, but I want to put in about 50 more lots before I upload. And the eBay store is going well. We have 35 items in our eBay store. A lot of Bionicle parts that came from my coworker's collection. A couple of Star Wars sets and some that I've been collecting for a while, creator sets and some Western sets. So those are all on eBay. So hopefully we'll get some of those sold in the next couple of weeks so that I can get some of my money back. I have decided that I am going to at least start on the cafe corner. I don't have all of the pieces yet, but I think I have enough to at least get me started. So I have spent some time getting all the stuff out of the bags. There's a big pile of bags back here, and have put them into my acro mills. I use this for the bigger sets so that I can sort out by color so I can find the parts a little bit easier. I spent quite a bit of time getting most of those done. I'm still working on some of the light bluish gray. I've also pulled out some parts that were either the wrong color, like this is a light gray instead of the light bluish gray. And then I also had some parts that were clearly faded. And so I pulled those out and re-added those to my wanted list. I'm hoping I have them in my store inventory. But the idea will be to look at the instructions online and see how far I can get before I have to order parts to continue. To give a quick recap of January, our Bricklink sales weren't great. We were still below our monthly average, but they were pretty good compared to the last 6 to 8 months. So I'm not going to complain about that. We had 25 orders, which is pretty good, almost 1 a day. And you can see down here is our eBay sales, and we did fairly well on eBay as well. We did have a lot of expenses this month just because of the way things worked out with buying the huge Lego lot, paying for just normal everyday supplies, plus we had a couple of subscription services such as Quicken that we had to pay for, not to mention the Bricklink orders. So we did have quite a bit of money going out. So we are definitely in the red for the month. But the nice thing is with doing this in January, we have the rest of the year to get ourselves back into the black.